offer the best grooming cutters for you. That's so natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be a swagger, style, class, and luxury. Maybe got products that are made for you with high quality. Yeah. So get in style with the black, yeah. Company. Give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah. Black, gentleman, black, yeah. Company. Give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com.
Yo. What's good? It's Stormy B-Man, and I am back. Welcoming you to the Friday Night Chop Session with Stormy B-Man for this Friday, July 2nd, 2024. And this is number 153 in the series of Chop Sessions. Yeah, and we're calling this one Crawford versus Madrimov, the WBA, WBO Junior Middleweight title. That'll take place tomorrow night on pay-per-view, DAZN. And this is going to be an evening where we talk about the fights a little bit more, break them down. You guys, I might even open up the call-in line so you could call in and talk about it if you want. And right now, the weigh-ins have just started. One of the fights from the undercard, the weigh-in has just begun. And the first two fighters have weighed in. As I look at my calendar here, that's Zaid Alamuf taking on Michael Bullock. They both made weight, and I think Bullock weighed in like at 142, and Zaid weighed in about 146 or something like that. I had to put my glasses on. I couldn't see the screen very clearly. But that was the very first weigh-in. That'll be the first fight on the card, I believe. And we're going to talk about this a little bit this evening. I'm going to also keep my broadcast open because the weigh-ins are live as we are doing the show. And I can chime in and let you guys know, if you're not watching on your own accord, what's happening with the weigh-ins. So as we get closer to the guys that everyone is more familiar with on the card and what they're going to be doing, and as far as their weights go, we'll chime in on that as well. But welcome, everybody. I hope that you have had a prosperous week. It's been a long week for myself. I had to lay it down a little while and kind of recoup myself and replenish my energies so I could come in to be ready to do the broadcast this evening. So I appreciate anyone that decided to come by. I know there's a lot of activity out there this evening, so you get your pick of the litter when it comes down to tuning in to your content for this Friday. Let's see who we got in the building. We got Adrian Viet is out there saying salute, Sensei. Antonio MMA saying good evening, Sensei. Steph Brown saying be well, Stormy. And salute our chat family here tonight. God be with you. Hit the like button, chat family. Hashtag Wisdom Dome. Jeff Spark is in the building saying, Stormy B-Man salute. Peace to you. Back to you. He says again, like, subscribe, and share. Yes, sir. And 88 Sports Talk is out there saying, Stormy B-Man salute, family. 100. Yes, sir. So, as we're getting ready for the next weigh-in coming to the scales, we've got Marcos Vasquez Rodriguez. He'll be taking on Steven Nelson. Marco is presently 20-0 and 1 with 10 KOs. And he's going to take on Steven Nelson, who is 19-0 with 15 KOs. These brothers are fighting out of the super middleweight division. Steven Nelson is out of Camp Crawford. So we're going to see what's happening when these two get on to mix it up tomorrow evening. They'll be getting to the scales in just a moment. Let's see what we got here. Nelson's coming out there to some Tupac, I get around. Well, I hope he gets down, I don't want to see him get around. I want to see him get down. He's 36 years of age. His opponent, Rodriguez, is 34 and a southpaw. Marco Rodriguez, he made at 167.6. He's 5'11", 34 years of age, and a southpaw. Steven is 36.
167.6 pounds for Steven.
Steven Nelson is 167.6 as well. He's 5'10" with a 75.5-inch reach. We got to fight with these two gents. Yeah. Why does Steven Nelson look so little to me? It just looks little. Well, I'm a lot taller than that, so it's like 5'11" is like, get away, little chump. But he looks so little on the stage standing next to Rodriguez, who happens, they're saying that he's, well, on the screen they got his name as Vasquez okay. Marcos Vasquez Rodriguez. He gives me Fred Hawthorne vibes. Yeah. Antonio says, I don't like the way Turkey set Wilder up, but his hands in boxing is a huge help for the fighters and fans. His Excellency is putting boxing on his back.
Believe this fight could be one of the best fights of the night. What kind of fight are you expecting?
Oh yeah, it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be an amazing fight. I'm going to come with it. Like I said yesterday, I've been through a lot this year, so I got a lot of built-up tension. And
good luck, Steven.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Steven says he expects it to be a good fight. We'll see. We're going to be looking at them. They're bringing the next guys out right away, so let's check it out.
First, we will welcome the challenger from Ciudad de Mexico.
Antonio Moran is the next one up. He'll be taking on the heavily favored Cuban sensation Andy Cruz. This is in the lightweight division. Moran is going to be the first to the scales. Let's see. He's 31 years of age. He's an Orthodox fighter out of Mexico, 5'11". His record is 36-1, and he has 21 KOs. Moran. Andy Cruz, this is going to be just his 4th professional fight. You know, he's had an outstanding amateur career. He's 28 years of age. He's 5'9", and he's 3-0 with 1 knockout. I'll tell you, if you saw Andy Cruz on the street, you'd think he was a brother from the South Side. You know what I'm saying? He just looks like a regular dude. Antonio, you said you think Turkey set Wilder up. I think that Wilder had a great deal to do with his recent failures himself. He didn't want to take any fights to tune up or to stay busy, and he elected to stay outside the ring while the other guys were feasting. And that's bad for any fighter. That inactivity thing, it's going to get to you. Plus, he had those rough fights against Fury, and there's just a few things that could have been done a little bit differently, but it is what it is now. You know, he has to live with that path that he walked. 134.8 for Moran. Now, next to the scale is Andy Cruz. Cruz is 140 even. 140 even for the junior welterweight fight that is Cruz versus Moran. I believe these guys weighed in this morning or something. This is just a formal weigh-in for the public. Oh, they just corrected. They said it's supposed to be a 135 title fight, and they read it at 140, but it's supposed to be 135. And Moran is a lot taller than him.
We're here with Antonio Moran. You're a big underdog tomorrow night. Your opponent has vowed to knock you out within 6 rounds. How do you beat Andy Cruz?
No estás considerado como favorito para mañana y tu rival ha declarado que va a hacer un knockout dentro de 6 rounds. ¿Cómo ves esto?
No, está bien. Ir con perfil bajo, ¿no? Para demostrar ya mañana arriba en el ring lo que realmente estoy hecho. Creo que he mejorado mucho. Todavía siguen con lo de David Haney, ¿no? Ya pasó hace 5 años, ya eso está enterrado. Y respecto a lo que dice Andy Cruz, pues veremos, ¿no? Yo no estoy dispuesto a leerme, entonces él tal vez, pero yo no. Entonces vamos a dar una buena pelea.
They're interviewing Moran right now. He's giving a long explanation about what he expects for tomorrow night's fight.
About 5 years since the Devin Haney fight. So yeah, I'm not one for sort of talking and doing predictions and stuff. I like to speak with a low voice.
He's the one that Devin Haney had that outstanding knockout against a few years back.
Antonio Moran, everybody.
There you go. You can see Phil there. I'll translate and make his way because we are going to hear from the champion, Andy Cruz.
Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. What's good with you, brother? I see you out there.
For this fight, so you're not trying out a new weight class. It'll be a lightweight fight for you. You have been a part of some big fights early in your career. You've been a part of a big event like this. What has this week been like for you?
Entonces, has formado parte de algunos peleas muy importantes en tu carrera, pero un acontecimiento toda una semana así, en la cartelera, nunca has hecho una semana así. ¿Cómo te ha parecido esta semana?
No, una semana excelente, un ambiente ya de pelea, me siento feliz, motivado por estar en este gran evento y vamos con todo y vamos a hacer un show a ese gran público que se lo merece.
No, it's been a fantastic atmosphere. I really enjoyed the week. You feel really part of the whole event and you live it even more as the days approach the fight. I'm really up for it. I can't wait to give it all I've got.
A couple of weeks ago, your stablemate Boots Ennis put on a great show in Philadelphia.
Dude, this is ridiculous. They're asking the translator to translate for him. He spoke something. He didn't even say, the translator didn't even say what Cruz said, and he read off of a pad what Cruz was saying. I could do that, right? I could do that. It's like these guys are so fake. Now Cruz is saying something else again right now, and the translator is getting ready to translate for him, and he's getting ready to read off the pad again.
Un show a él y a todo ese público que está esperando la pelea.
I think that Boots for me is one of the most complete fighters in the world, and it'll be great to have him watching tomorrow. So I want to show him what he can do. I want to show everyone else in the stadium and watching around the world what I can do. And let's hope it's going to be a great fight and give him a great show.
Good luck, Andy.
Muchas gracias.
That second response, he didn't read off the pad, but the first one he did. I don't like this foolishness, man. I hate this stuff. Abdul Anwar, what's good with you? I see you out there.
12-round contest will be for the vacant WBA light heavyweight championship of the world.
Now, the next one up to the scale.
Fighting out of St. Petersburg, Florida, by way of Belgrade, Serbia. He brings a professional record.
Rajave Kagic.
2 defeats, 21 of his 29 wins, coming by way of knockout. Here is the former world title challenger, Roddy Voye, Hot Rod Kagic.
This guy reminds me so much of Kelly Pavlik, man. The way he looks, also the way he boxes. He boxes a lot like Kelly Pavlik, who was a very good boxer.
A native of Santa Clara, Cuba, now fighting out of Minneapolis, Minnesota.
He's going to be taking on David Morel for the vacant WBA light heavyweight title. This must be the regular WBA because we got Dimitri Bivol got that belt, I believe. And he's getting ready to fight Bitterby for it. Morel and Cruz yucking it up before he goes up on the stage to do his weigh-in. The two Cuban brothers getting it on. Morel is trained by Ronnie Shields, veteran trainer. Hot Rod Kagic is 174.4. He stands 6'3" with a 76-inch reach. He's 33 years of age. Morel is to the stage. He's 26 years of age. He's 6'1" with a 78-inch reach and a southpaw. 174.8 for Morel. We got a fight. The light heavyweights, man. That's going to be a good fight for however long it lasts. Morel is the favorite, but you can expect that Kagic is going to give him a different look. That's right, Mahari. You can't trust these guys. You cannot trust them, man. Talking about the announcers. Everything is so scripted and so fake now. Everything.
I'll push back just a little bit on what Sergio said about David Benavidez's power not carrying over. I don't believe it didn't, but we'll see if there's a difference there for Morel.
That you're going to come in tomorrow and pull off the upset.
I just believe in my skill. I got the power, and I believe I fought better people. He's got David's experience, but we have a good game plan, and we're going to stick with it.
All right, good luck to you. Thank you. Let's send it over to Chris Mann.
Hot Rod says he believes in himself, his power, and his experience.
I know you're looking to win in any way, but in your first fight at 175, a knockout would send a pretty strong message. How hard do you think you're going to go for a knockout? Good luck, David.
David feels he's going to knock Hot Rod out. We will see. Boy, Canelo is really a chump, ain't he? He don't want to fight none of these good guys. Doesn't want to fight any of the good guys. He wants to fight guys that are second, third, fourth, and fifth tier, man. Holding belts hostage.
Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome the challenger, a native of Kananga, Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Next, the heavyweights are wearing in. Martin Bacoli, gonna be the first to the scale. He's 32 years of age, 6'6", orthodox fighter out of the Congo. His record is 20-1 and 15 KOs. Bacoli had taken on Mike Hunter and lost the fight with Hunter when he had a shoulder injury in 10 rounds. So he lost by a TKO due to not being able to continue in the fight, but he wasn't KO'd on his back or anything.
And now let's welcome the defending champion, hailing from Toledo, Ohio. He is undefeated with 17.
He's going to be taking on
of his 7
Jared
wins.
Anderson, the big baby, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Who's 17-0 with 15 KOs. This is considered a first real step-up fight for Jared, who's 24 years of age, 6'4", 78.5-inch reach. I notice he's been wearing his shades throughout this whole situation. Take the damn shades off, bro. Let people see your eyes. Let them see the fear, huh? Where Junior at? I know Junior out there lurking. That's right, Junior. I said, let us see his fear, huh? Got Sugar Hill Stewart in his camp. That's not nothing to praise. Bacoli to the scales. Let's see how big he is this time. 284.4 for Martin Bacoli, which is kind of near where he's been the last 3 or 4 fights. His last fight, he was 299. This fight, he's 284. Fights before that, he was in the 270s. Jared is getting on the scale now. 252.4 for Jared Anderson. which is a little bit bigger for him. He was before a little bit lighter, Jared. Man, Boli is really a lot taller than him, man. He finally took those shades off. Boli is looking right at him like he's some kind of tiger in the jungle that he wants to kill. Anderson and Sugar Hill throwing T-shirts out into the audience.
Your opponent has been described as the next great American heavyweight. How good do you think Jared Anderson is?
We'll find it out tomorrow. The talking is over. Everything is over now. Focus on the fight tomorrow.
To all the American fans here that may not be familiar with you, how would you describe your boxing style?
I'm in it. So I think people will find it out tomorrow.
You've got a very big fan base here. What's your message to those watching around the world, and give us your prediction?
I love them, and I came here to win the fight. The knockout went. Madrimov is the winner tomorrow.
All right, who thinks Smart McCauley's going to win this Saturday night? He'll be taking on Jared Anderson. Over to Chris Mannix.
Jared, you're giving away some swag out there to this fan base. Think you're going to make some new friends tomorrow night?
Definitely. I think I'm going to make a lot of new friends, everything.
You've been asking for this kind of opponent that'll stand there and fight for you for months now. What kind of fight are you expecting? How are you feeling going into this?
I'm expecting an amazing fight, amazing performance for myself and for the fans. So I'm just expecting to go out there and show what I'm made of.
And a new man in your corner in Sugar Hill Stewart. What has he been able to add to your game during this camp?
You'll see Saturday night.
Good luck, Jared.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Not a fan of Anderson. Not a fan of Anderson at all. The next heavyweight weigh-in is coming up. The next one, Andy Ruiz and Jarrell Miller coming to the scales.
Fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, and proudly representing the country of Belize. His professional record consisting of 26 wins, just one defeat, one draw. 22 of his 26 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shareable Big Baby Miller.
Miller, who's coming in, he's 36 years of age. He's 6'4" with a 78-inch reach. His record is 26-1-1 with 22 KOs. And he's going to be weighing in just a moment, taking on the former first-time Mexican heavyweight champion of the world, former heavyweight champion of the world, who's 34 years of age, 6'2" with a 74-inch reach, Andy Ruiz Jr.
Coming by way of knockout, he is the former WBA, IBF, WBO, and IBO unified heavyweight champion of the world, Andy the Destroyer Ruiz.
Boy, his little son got so much ice on his neck he can't hardly hold his head up straight. Andy Ruiz walking out. Do you guys agree with me that Andy looks like an adult version of that kid from the animation film Up? You know, Up with the old man and the little kid with the baseball cap? I swear Andy looks like an adult version of that kid. Miller's coming to the scale. He's trimmed down a lot since we last saw him in the December.
305.6.
He weighs in 305.6. Big baby. We thought he would be under 300, but no dice. He had to hit the hamburger stand before he came in tonight, so he's 305.6. Andy is now on the scale. 274.4 for Andy. Listen, I want to say this about these heavyweights, man. Until they learn how to get into shape, they'll never be able to perform at the capacity of which their talents may be able to take them. They are half-assing it. These guys will not lose weight, and I don't like them. They will never be considered anywhere near great. They can't put on great performances. They can only give you crowd-pleasing performances, but they'll never be great or associated with greatness when they can't have the disciplines to get themselves into proper shape. That commentary is directly from Stormybman. Yes, sir. Flabby ass guys, 6'4" and under, no way. I think I'm looking at the Michelin Man and a busted can of biscuits standing up there with arms and legs.
Did this fight go the distance? No.
I think it does. Pick it up. I pick it up. You know, I just whenever you've been inactive so long, like Andy Ruiz, you're not, you're gonna want to reserve some things for the tank. You're gonna want to go to the second half of the fight. Miller said he's gonna use his legs. I think it'll do distance. I am here with the dancing big baby. You've been very polite to Mr. Ruiz all week long, but you had some words there during the face-off. What'd you say to him?
I'm going in for the kill. You know, nothing love to see when I said the ring, I'm roast your ass. You know, like I said, a happy, in shape big baby is a dangerous big baby. Nobody beats you in shape. Maybe the farm, so everybody else.
You said your last fight you were not happy at all.
This guy just can't stop using profanity, man. That describes how ignorant he is, because when a man chooses to only be profane, there's not much else going on the brain. That's what I have to say about that. Take the mic away from him. He can be charismatic and say things that'll give you a good sound bite, but everything doesn't have to be foul coming out of his mouth. I don't like that. It's just pure ignorance. Talking about Miller.
All right, Andy, 2 years out of the ring, but you still have a lot of fans here in Southern California. What kind of show are you hoping to put on for them tomorrow night?
Man, the main thing that I want to win, man. I want to win, especially for my fans, toda la raza que me anda apoyando aquí. Eso es lo que vamos a hacer. Vamos a ganar. Vamos a ganar.
274 pounds, a little heavier than I think you thought you wanted to come in this week. How are you feeling physically going into this fight?
I feel really good, man. We knew that he was going to be over 300 pounds. I didn't want to lose too much weight, so I thought we did a perfect plan. We did a perfect strategy, so I feel good. I'm ready to win. I'm ready to fight.
Making excuses. He says he thinks they did a perfect plan for him coming in at 270 plus pounds. No freaking way.
Of course it is, man. I had everything in my palms and it went away, so I want them back. So what do I have to
If Andy Ruiz would have really dedicated himself and came in at about 240 pounds, you would probably see a beast of a fighter.
champion again? That's what we're going to do.
Good luck, Andy.
But 30 pounds north of that, no.
Our next two fighters to the stage.
Now we got
In a scheduled 12
El Rayo
It will be for the WBC
and Pitbull.
Super Lightweight Championship of the World. Let's first welcome the challenger, fighting out of Renton, Washington, by way of Los
Valenzuela is 25 years of age. He's a southpaw, 5'10" with a 70-inch reach. His record is 13-2 with 9 KOs.
Please welcome Jose El Rayo Valenzuela.
He'll be first to the scales. He's facing Isaac Cruz, the super lightweight champion. Cruz's record 26-2-1 with 18 KOs. He's 26 years of age. He's 5'4" with a 63-inch reach.
Distrito Federal. His professional record consisting of by way of knockout, here is the reigning and defending WBA Super Lightweight Champion.
I've stated that I would like to see El Rayo win this fight to upset the cart in the division. Valenzuela to the scales. 139.8 for Jose El Rayo Valenzuela. He's in shape. He's ready.
Now to the scale, the defending champion, Cruz.
Isak on the scales.
140 pounds even.
140 even. 140 even for Isak.
You always wonder how fighters sort of grow fan bases, right? Some have countries behind them, some growing slowly but surely. Pitbull Cruz's fan base in the last couple of years has swelled to thousands and thousands, if not millions. And the majority of the fans here at LA Live are here for him.
No, I think the reason because of that, because he always lives for the knockout. The fact that he almost, I mean, he put up a good fight against Tank Davis. Everyone's knocking out. Their fights Tank's getting knocked out, not that man right there. That's the reason they have passion behind him. That's the reason they're supporting him.
It shows, Sean, you can get all the fans, even in a loss. All those fighters that are scared to take those fights, you can get them in a loss.
And people love this too. The fact that he's smaller than most of the guys that get in the ring. You know, you really truly see the dog, the pit bull come out in the ring. So that's why people love him. But this is truly a 50-50 fight. Valenzuela comes in with a great game plan and executes. He walks out victorious.
Hey, Valenzuela looks really good for 140 as well, by the way.
Whoa.
He has build out.
Listen, man, I know we keep saying every fight 50-50, but Valenzuela is a live dog in this fight. I know we're talking about live dogs against a pit bull.
They're talking about how much Valenzuela has filled out at this weight, and he's a live dog in the fight. You think? I've been saying it.
He had a great camp. If he can get past six rounds into the second half of the fight, I think his ability is going to be in trouble for Pitbull. All right, Jose, you're taking on Pitbull Cruz. We know what he's all about. He's going to pressure you. He's going to throw punches. He's going to try and bully you. How do you handle that?
You know, we stay sharp, we stay focused, and we stick to the game plan.
So what is the game plan? How do you beat him?
Make him miss, make him pay.
What's your message to your fans? You got a loud cheering section over there.
Arriba, Mexico!
Fair enough. Chris?
Isak, first world title defense. You're going to do it in front of a lot of Mexican fans on Saturday. How are you feeling going into this fight?
¿Cómo te sientes? Primera defensa de tu título mundial frente a muchos aficionados mexicanos. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Me siento muy contento de poderlo representar y orgullosamente el día de mañana vamos a salir con la victoria a representar a todo México.
I feel really, really proud to represent them. We're going to try and go all out for victory tomorrow, for them and for the whole of Mexico.
This is a Mexico versus Mexico type of fight. Do you like those types of fights?
Es como una pelea México contra México. ¿Te gustan estas peleas, no?
Totalmente, y bueno, vamos a demostrar que nosotros somos el verdadero estilo mexicano.
Yeah, I do really like them as well, and we'll see who is the real sort of champion out of Mexico, out of the two Mexicans.
Good luck, Isak.
Thank you.
Ane, throw it back to you.
One more to go. That's
One more weigh in to go, fellas and ladies out there.
There's so much coming your way in the next few weeks and months, and not many bigger things than the Esports World Cup. Enjoy this.
One more. The main event. The weigh-in will be happening. I have to admit that this is one of the best cards that has been put together in recent memory, man. The promotions have grown and grown under Riyadh season. They've done some wonderful work at matchups. They've done wonderful work with these matchups. Yeah. Royal Constrictor is out there. What's good with you, bro? Good to see you this evening. Of course, they're taking a little moment out to let these guys talk and chew the fat before the main event participants get to the scales. You got Terrence Crawford, as he'll be challenging Israel Madrimov for Madrimov's WBA junior middleweight title. Crawford is coming in. He'll be 37 years of age very soon. And he's a 3-division champion, 2 times undisputed. And he's going to be taking on Madrimov from Uzbekistan, who happens to be 29 years of age. He's 5'8.5" with a 68-inch reach. Looks like a miniature version of Triple G, but a little bit more athletic and mobile on his footwork with than Triple G. Crawford is, of course, 5'8", a southpaw with a 74-inch reach. Those long arms of Crawford have been known to give his opponents problems, because Crawford could be within punching range for himself and out of range for opponents, as he has been known to have a longer reach than almost everyone he's faced. Almost everyone. Okay, they done brought Michael Buffer in.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night at professional boxing for your entertainment, including a performance by the international superstar recording artist Eminem. And it's all brought to you by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, GEA, promoted by Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, Stella and Gold Star Promotions in association with League One and World of Boxing. Special thanks, ladies and gentlemen, to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, GEA, Turkey Al-Sheikh. And now, two undefeated fighters will be facing each other tomorrow night. It's a night of history for boxing. We all remember anything can happen in that ring. Ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA Super Welterweight Championship of the World. Also on the line, the WBO interim title, the WBC #1 ranking, building a pathway to something we all want. That is an undisputed champion. Let's bring the fighters to the stage and to the scale.
They got Juan Diaz out there, the baby bull, holding up the WBA belt. I ain't seen him in a long time.
100 victories in his amateur career. Now as a professional, undefeated, with a record consisting of 10 victories, 7 wins by knockout. He has 1 technical draw. He is the fighting bride of Cuba and all Uzbekistan. He is the reigning, defending, undefeated WBA champion of the world, Israel, the Dream Madrimov.
Madrimov coming out. He's coming out with his little flag and everything. They can wrap him up in it when they send him home.
Officially designated as the challenger. Over the last 7 years, his record, a perfect one, 11-0, all wins by knockout. His perfect professional record consists of 40 fights, 40 victories, 31 by knockout. He's recognized as pound for pound the best fighter in the world today. From Omaha, Nebraska, USA, the former lightweight world champion, former undisputed super lightweight world champion, and the current undefeated welterweight champion of the world, Terrence Bud Crawford.
Here he comes, the pound for pound king, the pound for pound #1. You heard all the accolades there that Michael Buffer read out. 14 fights, 14 wins, 31 knockouts. And now he's managed to become a 4-weight world champion and cemented.
Bud reminds me of Tommy Hearns and how he's moving up through these weights with his wiry frame. And he's putting that weight on. People keep talking about him being small, but he's never fought small. He's a strong young man. I can call him a young man because I'm over 20 years older than him. Madrimov to the scales.
Undefeated in his professional career. 10 victories, 7 KOs, 1 technical draw. The pride of Kiva, Uzbekistan. Official weight, 154 pounds for the reigning and defending world champion, Israel.
154. So he's right on the target, Madrimov. So he's going to try to weight bully Bud.
Under the scales, the fighting pride of Omaha, Nebraska, USA. Going for his 4th division championship, he is Terrence Bud Crawford.
153.4. With his pants and his, I think he had on some kind of shoes.
Challenger, Bud Crawford, challenging once again for his 4th Division World Championship. The defending champion, Israel the Dream Madrimov. It's all for the WBA Super Welterweight Championship of the World.
One thing Sean said to me straight away, looking at Madrimov, he said, "Looks strong."
He looks strong. You can tell his body. He just has muscle.
And then what I said out is, look at the look in his face. Look at the look in his eyes. I don't lie. But neither do Madrimov. Said, look, we're talking about the size. Right now, they still haven't been rehydrated. You can clearly see from that side view that Madrimov is a bigger fighter. He's a fuller fighter. Crawford actually does look good. He filled out nicely. But the dense muscle is going to be on Madrimov.
Absolutely, you can see it. That's exactly what I'm seeing. It's dense, it's heavy, and he's gonna have some heavy hands on fight night.
So intriguing. They say there are weight classes for a reason. Is this a weight jump too much for Crawford? Or is 154 pounds the right jump at the right time? We'll find out tomorrow.
So I know they're going to ask them a couple of questions before they send it off.
All right, Israel, the final face-off is done. The talking is over. We are 24 hours away from the biggest fight of your life. How do you feel?
What's up, Billy? Salam alaikum. Thank you for coming. Inshallah, Saturday night will be a great fight. Don't miss.
I thought it was interesting. Yesterday we spoke to you and asked you what your game plan was, and you basically said you're going to figure it out in the ring depending on what Terrence does. Why is that how you're approaching this fight?
Yeah. I have the game plan because inside the ring we are making I do inshallah, and я хочу, чтобы показать всем, что я умею, и доказать, что я лучше на этом весе.
My goal is to showcase my skills inside that ring and show that I'm the best in this division.
All right, I'll give you the final word here. What's your prediction for tomorrow night? What are we going to see? And what's your message to your fans around the world?
It's gonna be a great fight. Mukhlislar, qo'llab-quvvatlanglar inshaalloh. Tarix ochamiz.
God bless, it's going to be a great fight. And
Mind of Mansa Musa, what's good? Hendog, what's happening?
Welterweight champion of the world, Israel the Dream Madrimov.
All right, bud, the talk is finally over. You get back in the ring for the first time in a year. What's the feeling like?
I can't wait. I'm focused, I'm ready, I'm excited. I'm ready to go out here and put on another great performance in front of all my fans and supporters and the whole world to show them that I'm the best fighter in the world.
You talked about how tough it was for you to get down to 147. How did those extra 7 pounds feel on you?
And it feels great, but it still wasn't easy. But we ready.
You're the best in the world at 135, at 140, at 147. Do you believe you can be the best in the world at 54?
I'm already the best in the world at 54 when I stepped in the division.
You got a guy in front of you on Saturday that checks a lot of boxes, decorated amateur, in his prime, world champion, says this is his weight class. What kind of a fight are you expecting?
Listen, how many gold medalists, silver medalists, Olympians that I didn't meet? A lot of them got a decorated amateur pedigree and background, and they all left the same way. And I'm looking forward to him leaving the same way again this Saturday.
Good luck, bud.
They want Bud to lose bad, bro. They really want him to lose.
Bud looked in. Those niceties have gone.
Back to not talking.
You know when Bud gives those little short answers, he's ready to go. But look, he looked amazing as well. Bud always looks good, but I think 154. And
to come up there and be stronger than everybody else. Here's a little unknown secret. When I moved down to 147, I thought I needed to be fast. Moving up, he knew he needed to be strong. So he's not in no man's land coming up to 154. He already knows what he's in store for.
There are so many good fighters at 154 pounds, right? I mean, Sebastian Vendora is a fantastic fighter. Virgil Ortiz, Tim Tszyu. We don't know what's going on with Jamel Charlo. Is Madrimov the best 154 pounder? Are we seeing Terence Crawford against the best guy in the next division? Of course, Madrimov's the best because he's a champion at 154. And the other guys, they get a little bit more TV time, a little bit more exposure, so you hear that name a little bit more. When you break down the numbers, you break down how they
It would have been interesting to see Madrimov and Tim Tszyu. That would have been an interesting fight. Because they're basically the same kind of fighter.
He has an overall package of being pretty good at just about everything.
I felt the standout between these two.
They're stroking Madrimov's cock on this one, and I'm going to tell you something. I don't believe in that because before he signed to fight Bud, wasn't nobody talking about this guy. Even when he won that WBA title in his last fight, there was not a lot of promotion around him. He was just another guy going after the vacant belt that Mel Charlo used to have in his possession. And let's just face it. If he beats Crawford, that's when you can say, okay, well, he beat a good young guy who was coming up. But if he wasn't fighting Crawford, would anybody give a damn? There you go. There's another thing to look at with these Eastern European fighters. They get a chance to come in against certain guys. And I'm going to tell you, the American fighters for a long time now, several years on, haven't been as hungry as they used to be in competitive championship caliber fights. One of the last ones who retired over the past couple of years was Andre Ward. Andre Ward was a fighter like Bud Crawford who dedicated himself to his craft, took everything very serious, sought out the toughest challenges, even though that there were several fighters through the years, Canelo, Triple G, who wanted no parts of him. But he was there and he was ready to get it on. Bud Crawford is the same. It's just that he's moving up through the divisions and came up from a lower weight, whereas Ward, being 160, 168, then moved up to 175, he did what he could do. He even wanted to challenge Anthony Joshua, remember? But Joshua's people didn't take the opportunity. Why? I'll tell you why. Joshua has problem with smaller guys. He doesn't have problem with the big dudes, but he has trouble with guys that are under 6'3". He has problems with them. So, you saw what Andy Ruiz did to Joshua. Do you think that Andy Ruiz is a better fighter than Andre Ward? Food for thought. Yeah. Food for thought. So, tomorrow night's card, we've got some sizzling fights, man. Great matchups. There could be some upsets. They're primarily 50-50 matches, though. So in that, you're going to see entertainment within itself. Guys who, the hungriest guy, the guy who has something burning underneath the surface in his stomach about wanting more for his career and his bank account and his family. That's where you're going to see things switch. And you can't always guess that. You can do a pre-fight breakdown and forecast on those type of things, but as my brother, the dearly departed Curtis Anderson, used to say, it's the intangibles, the unmeasured items that you have no idea that could come into play when the quality matches are 50-50 like this. When guys on paper are favored to another guy on a consistent basis, then you have to look toward the person who is not the favorite, how to do something to come outside himself to level the playing field. But when 50-50 matches, all you have to do is slip up, make a mistake, underestimate, or just not be good as advertised. And then you have the differences there. That's something that, you know, it really plays out. It plays out in the sport of boxing almost more than any other sport. That Andy Cruz fight against Moreno, I think that that's going to be pretty much a good fight for him. Though Moreno has more fight and fight experience, Cruz, he has exceptional boxing talent. He should be able to run circles around Moreno. But I still want to see it. I like to see Cruz fight because he's a high caliber quality fighter. They're not trying to push him toward a title shot early in his career, even though he has 3 professional fights and this will be his 4th. But that's okay, because the guys who have titles and everything in the division, they need to sort things out amongst themselves. But they're going to have to see that man. They're going to have to see him eventually. Hendog says, and I heard Terrence Crawford recently say he don't have to train as hard as much as he did at 147. It's not that. It's like whatever his regimen was to stay on weight, he didn't have to do those type of things to cut as much weight to make 147. We're talking about, 7 pounds heavier, man. 7 pounds of muscle that you don't have to cut. That's pretty good. And as you saw him, he was lean he was lean like Tommy Hearns. I said that, right? He was lean like Tommy Hearns, and he looked like no flab, no where you could pinch an inch and all, none of that. And he's going to rehydrate. Madrimov is going to rehydrate, and he's going to look thicker and more heavily muscled. But muscles weigh more than fat. Joel Diaz, his trainer, and he may be banking on the fact that Terrence Crawford can't hurt him. They better watch out for that, because if they're looking at it in that regard, just know that Terrence is on a streak of 11 stoppages in a row. Some of them devastating. Some of them body shots. Some of them dome shots. Some of them just wearing somebody down by whooping their ass. Just numerous ways. Sean Porter, who has a chin, went to the canvas twice against Bud Crawford. How many times was Spence down? Kell Brook. Now at 154, he gets to go up against some bigger guys, stronger guys, younger guys. But he's a competitive man. It makes all the difference in the world. Let's see where we are with our... Let's see. Can we get the likes up, man? It's like over 100 and some people looking at this channel, man, but only 18 likes. Are you kidding me, bro? Are you freaking kidding me? What do people come to Stormy B-Man's channel for? I don't even understand that, man. I have no idea of understanding that, what you guys come around my channel for. You don't acknowledge me. You don't show any respect for me. You don't communicate with me, but you'll come to my freaking channel. You're an asshole. Hendog is asking, he hasn't had a decision since like what, 2008 or longer. I said 11 fights in a row. Count back 11 fights, not including tomorrow's fight. Abdul Anwar, everyone's like should be upon entering, but people don't do that. Some people forget, but mostly it's a lot of those, individuals who don't rock with the LDBC, which is, this is Stormybman. Yes, I am a part of the LDBC, but you can't take your eyes off of my content though. You're here. Why? That's what I ask. Why? Why are you here? If you went to college, you're supposed to pick out a major for yourself. You can pick out a minor, but what are your studies centered in? That's what I'm asking. What do you come here for? I don't talk about other people. I'm not into debating small menial minds. I talk the X's and O's of boxing. I talk the history of the sport. I talk about the fighters, intestinal fortitude, the physical traits and characteristics that allow them to be as successful as possible, or those who cut corners and do not put their best foot forward as a result of apathetic approach to their professional careers. These are the type of things that I discuss over here. And to the surface, it could seem even boring, but it's not, because those aspects of what we discuss here, people apply them to their everyday lives, which is the way I used to coach when I talked to guys in the gym. What I share with you here, you can take out into the real world and put it to use and be successful in it if you buy into the principalities. But yet and still, 100-something people looking at me, but they can't even hit the damn like button. A simple action. I didn't ask for your money. I didn't ask you to make me to be your best friend. So what are you doing? I go nowhere where I don't like. I don't go nowhere where I'm not wanted. I don't go anywhere that is unfriendly. So psychologically, you're fucking stupid. That's what I get from it. Dumb. Ignorant. Yeah, you. Antonio says, I'm slowly falling back on that Boots hype train. As soon as I see him during the weigh-in live, I'm checking out for Bud. Antonio, is Boots fighting? Yeah, I don't know why people trying to put Boots' name with Bud's, because Bud has already, you know the story. He was already moving up to 154. Boots needs to establish himself at 147. There are plenty of guys that he can make his name against and cut his teeth. Do that. There will be challenges to come along. Just fight, man. Stop worrying about the other guys. Main Biker in the building. What's happening with you, Main Biker? He says, good evening, Stormy and chat. What's happening with you, bro? Ravens Nation is out there saying hit the like button. He says negative sensei. He helped train Big Baby for his fight versus Ruiz. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was like, I thought he just fought in July, so I didn't think he was fighting. But Antonio was saying that as soon as Bud fights, he's switching to him. I didn't understand that comment. You know, when you're typing something to read what you type, there's no way to understand that whomever you're making the message for, they can totally understand what you're communicating if it's not a complete thought. It could be a complete sentence, but centered around what? That's what I'm saying. So I don't make assumptions. Steven Zen is in the building saying like smashed. We appreciate that. But we're still probably about 50 likes short of where I should be. Do you guys know that this channel just received a message recently over the past 5 days or so? I'm not posting it anymore. That I have almost 2 million views. Almost 2 million views to the Stormy B-Man's channel. But if you look at what my subscribers count is, then you know that I am being shadow banned. Because there's no way for Stormy B-Man to have almost 2 million views and only 5,600 subs. How about that? How about that? I'm telling you the truth. I don't lie to you guys. Aisha Pear, good evening to you. 2 million. That's a lot. That's more than a lot. That would be like what Blue Blood does with the numbers of people who tune in and check him out. Blue Blood is very active. I'm not as active as he, but I do have a show almost every day of the week. I produce videos every day of the week. And then when I mix in the Kung Fu shows, those blow the numbers out of the water. So you tell me who's zooming who. And I don't have a lot of people on my channel. I don't do panels and all of that foolishness. with all these backstabbing, double crossing folk. I don't need you to come to my channel with your foolishness like that. $2 million. Shadow banned. Stevens in. The math ain't mathing, is it? The math isn't mathing. What's 3% of 2 million? What's 5% of 2 million? Come on now. I'm asking you. I'm not a mathematician here. But think about that for a moment. There you go. Now you see, you're using simple logic. Simple logic. And I've not purchased one sub. Not one. Everything is from people willingly supporting, and from my brothers and sisters in the community that we have worked together to build what we've built as a community. So you're meaning to tell me that, let's just say, 1,900,000, 1,800,000 people are trolling me? Seriously. Nos Inno, what is that you're writing in the chat? I'd like to know. What is that? And even still, with more people coming in, the likes are still, they haven't even made it over 30. It's at 26. Another fight that's taking place tomorrow night will be Caroline Dubois as she takes on Myra Moneo for Dubois' lightweight title, an IBO title that she has presently. And she's going after Myra's, I think she has a WBC title. And that's an interim title that Myra has. So it's a big fight. The 23-year-old Dubois has a record of 9-0 with 5 KOs. Myra is 14-1 with, I think, 3 KOs. She's 31 years of age. They had their weigh-in today. They made weight. They have a fight. I have a video premiering tomorrow morning on these two ladies. If you haven't had a chance to see Caroline Dubois, she is a sensation in women's boxing. She is really a good fighter, very exciting, crowd-pleasing style. And up until recently, I was deeming her the top fighter in the Dubois family because her brother is Daniel Dubois. Very good fighter she is. And she's looking to follow in the footsteps of Clarissa Shields as far as achieving in the sport. And I wish her well. I wish her to be the best that she can be in the sport. Mike 202 is in the building saying blessings, Sensei, with those channel emojis. Appreciate you, Mike 202. Boxing is really doing well right now. The Dubois fight will be a part of a co-main that's seeing Zach Chelly take on Callum Simpson for the BBBFC British Super Middleweight title and the Commonwealth Boxing Council Super Middleweight title. So that's 2 regional belts for those guys at Super Middleweight. And Caroline is in the co-main of that. Those guys are going to fight on Sky Sports, which is Peacock TV here in the U.S. And Ben Salam is the promoter with Boxer. So that's tomorrow. And that match will be early in the day if you're stateside. We're talking, it's going to be roughly 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Central Time for that to jump off. So keep your eyes peeled for that, you guys. That Chelly Simpson card, they're saying Central Time, the main event will be roughly around 4 p.m. So Caroline, you could probably expect her in the ring roughly around 2:30, 3 o'clock. I'm going to try to check that fight out because I like to watch Caroline Dubois. She's a sensational fighter. seeing that I can't even get 30 likes, I've elected I won't open up the phone lines because there probably wouldn't be anybody calling anyway. But it just goes to show how people will just be watching, you know, peeping through the blinds in the bushes, as I've often stated. It's very unfortunate. And you guys see that this person, Nas Eno, I asked him what was that he wrote in my chat supposed to mean. And he never wrote anything else. So I take it that he's a troll. But I'm not trying to, you know, kick him out or oust him. I asked a legitimate question. He gave no answer, but he stopped by. He threw a stone and then ran. But you see how the foolishness is? It's probably because he's a bigot or a biased person, and he just doesn't have an appreciation for someone like myself, being a black guy on here talking about the sport of boxing. He just wants to be a disruptive element. But notice that I've been on an hour and a half and have yet to allow anyone to disrupt what I'm doing. Go hate yourself. Look in the mirror and curse your parents because they produce poo-poo instead of a human being. Steven's in over 200 views now, 200, but only 30 likes now, only 30. And the only reason those likes increased is because I was talking about it. Some of you feel maybe guilt or whatever and say, well, let me go ahead and hit it. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're coming here to check my channel out, and you know I've been around for the past 5 years, why are you checking me out? You would never tell anyone, oh, I'm learning this from Stormy, or I got on good authority from Stormy, or the creative process that Stormy exhibits, or whatever. There's no credit due here. You got guys out there who will talk about me and put me down and say things like that, you know, but they'll do that about anyone, which is why it's insignificant. But what are you watching for? I can't be bought. I ain't for sale. And it is what it is. You come in here saying, hey, everyone, but whose house are you entering? That's bullcrap. If you think that I believe that, you need to take that somewhere else. You see how they come with the foolishness? No respect. Even upon entering the first time, you greet the owner of the home. Disrespect. And if this is your first time, I don't care if it's your last, because you came disrespectful. You came disrespectful. So why should I show respect? I show offense because that's what you've done. You've offended. What are you laughing out loud about? Do you see me smiling? I'm not smiling. I'm not laughing. I'm dead serious. You see, you trolls always identify yourselves. There is a certain DNA that you have that's a part of your foolishness. You don't know anything about decorum, but I wouldn't expect someone who's an ignoramus too. But you're not dealing with a child here, you're dealing with a man. So I suggest maybe you pack it in and take your attention somewhere else. Because I'm not to be played with. Antonio, if you're still out there, be my voice of reason. Mike 202, I know you had come in later. You probably came in and hit the like button and left. But if you're here, show my voice of reason. I'm speaking specifically to my wrenches. Main Biker, Mind of Mansa Musa, Mahari Nation, 88, Steph Brown, be my voice of reason. This person claims that how did they show disrespect? Could you help them out? Mike James 616, you haven't written in the chat, but you out here deleting messages. I didn't ask for that person to be deleted. Would you undelete them? Undelete them. See, this is what you've been. No, don't come in here saying salute Stormy. You have a wrench on my channel, but you didn't hear me ask a wrench to delete the message. I said, be my voice of reasoning. You see, this is the kind of foolishness that I talk about. You guys are paying half attention. Undelete them. Now, after you deleted them, then you come out there saying salute Stormy. It may be your first time on this live, but you still didn't come in greeting Stormy B-Man. You came in saying, hey, everyone. But the channel is not called everyone. The channel is called Stormy B-Man, especially coming in while I'm speaking on a matter of people not showing proper decorum to my channel. I'm speaking on the subject of how I'm being shadow banned. I'm speaking on the fact that there are people out there peeping through the blinds and the bushes watching this content, and I'm asking why. But they can't hit the like button, but they're here. Almost 250 fucking strong. But only 31 likes. Does that make sense to you? Maybe you did press the like, but you didn't address me. You didn't say, hey, Stormy, what's happening? Or nothing. There have been a couple of people in here this evening that did not come in here before, and I addressed them. They addressed me. Like I said, it's like when you walk into someone's home, you speak to who you see. But see, I don't know how old you are and don't really give a damn. But wherever you go and you do what you do, stay there. Because if you got to come here and you want to ask every freaking question about the most simplistic of things that I've put down as house rules, then maybe this is not for you. See, there's a thing called levels. And when you are dwelling in the cellar, I don't have time to reach down when I'm trying to reach upward. Foolishness will persist, and I don't have the time or energy for it. Not in the least. See, when you just don't know, you just don't know.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.
Yeah. So as it stands, we've come to the end of another Friday night chop session. Too bad that the last few minutes of the show had to still be intrusive with trolling. But again, I'm not handling it like some people think it may. I have multiple ways that I can handle this situation. But at the same time, I elevate. Shout out to the mighty LDBC.